Out here on the first day of 2011, and we're out asking the question to people, what do you think is going to happen to you after you die? Your eyes go closed, and what happens next?
I believe that once I pass, I'm going to go to where I'm going to be judged by God based on how I've conducted myself and tried to adhere to the Catholic religion. I'm going to be either allowed into heaven or into hell. And from there, I'm not too sure. I've dabbled in the thought that you're not going to be in heaven or hell for eternity, but at some point, you're going to be passed on to whatever God thinks is best for you. And from there, I'm not sure. So
okay.
You could either be reincarnated into another being or become another person in a later life.
Okay. So that's kind of, you believe that all your life, or just kind of as you've gone along this life, different things you've looked at and studied and...
Just thinking about it, I don't believe that forever being in a place is feasible or something you'd want. So I think once you get up there or down there, you're going to be maybe given the chance to be reincarnated or pass on to another life. So
believe the same thing, or?
No, I don't. I believe, I guess once you pass, it's over. Just nothing's left of you. I do think that you have a soul. I don't know where it travels to, but I just, once it's over, it's over.
So you had...
Yeah, a Christian,
okay.
And they're of Catholic descent, but, you know, you're always told of heaven and hell and what you should and shouldn't believe, but I don't know, I don't see the possibility of going to a place like that, your being going to a place like that, but, so no, I don't believe in like a heaven or hell, it's over.
Kind of over, huh? Yeah, it's, a lot of people believe that. I mean, you're certainly
just
not
a life form.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that share that same belief.
Source of energy, and then once the energy is gone, it's gone.
Yeah, it's
I wouldn't like that. You know, I think heaven and hell is something that people would like to believe in because it's hard to cope with the idea of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, well. Just before we go any further, we're Christians, just so you know, and we believe in a heaven and a hell. And the reason we believe that, there's a lot of evidence out there that kind of backs that up. We believe in the Holy Bible. The Bible contains prophecies in the Bible that things that were predicted to happen actually happen. There's places in the Bible that you can actually go visit and are there. It's the most published book in the world. Those are the reasons we believe. We believe that there has to be a creator to all this. Just like that building over there. There was a designer, there was a creator to that building. We have faith that there was a designer or creator to that building. We maybe didn't see him do it, but we have faith that there's somebody that designed and built that building. Just like this creation around us is so complicated. It's unreal. All the complexities in this life. Your own body, your nerves, your blood, your eyes, everything in your eye has to work together simultaneously just to be able to see. To say that there wasn't a designer or creator to all that just is really far-fetched to me and what we believe. I looked at it all and all the evidence kind of, how can you not, how can you think of just randomness, think of that it just kind of all came together by itself, there wasn't a creator to all that. And we lean to the Holy Bible just because of, the things I just said, and there's things outside the Bible that have helped back it up as well. There's the Dead Sea Scrolls. Have you ever looked at that?
Looked at it before, well not.
It was actually in this museum. I've had 2 interviews today where people actually saw it in that museum. That's the first time it's ever happened. 2 interviews the same day, that both were the same exhibit. But in that exhibit, Dead Sea Scrolls, it proves that the Bible didn't change over the years. Like a lot of people want to say, it just kind of changed, it was man-made, and they all kind of changed things as they saw fit. And the Dead Sea Scrolls actually had the whole book of Isaiah contained in it. And it was intact. And it's the same book of Isaiah that we have now. So it didn't change over the years. It was a great discovery. And then there's actually books outside of the Bible that talked about Jesus being here and what he did. and that were not the Bible itself. There were people during that time that wrote books around it. So, I mean, we believe there's just too much evidence to decide to ignore that. And then after reading the Bible and what it contained, it's just, I choose to believe that way. I think there's just, I don't want to go to hell. I just don't. I don't want anybody else around me to go to hell as well. You know, hell is described as a lake of fire and brimstone. It's a place where the Bible talks about in Luke, where you're going to feel pain for eternity. So I don't want to go there. You know, that's I'm not into pain, and I'm not going to do that. I want to believe I want to go to heaven. I want to live there for eternity, and that's a far better place that I want to go to. I'm going to do everything I can in this life in order to get there. But we're all sinners, right? We all do things wrong. Not a one of us is perfect. Okay, the only person to live a perfect life here was Jesus Christ, and he was God in the flesh, and he knew in his plan that we couldn't do it, and he gave us a way to get to heaven. But we got to believe and trust in that. We got to believe that he lived that perfect life, and then he, in his plan, he got up on a cross and he took all our sin upon himself and died on a cross, and then he rose again after 3 days. All we got to do is trust and believe in that he really did do that for us, and ask for forgiveness of our sins, and before this life ends, and we'll go to heaven. If we don't, we risk going to hell. You know, and a lot of people think, oh, I'll go to heaven, I'm a good person. But let me give you the good person test real quick. A guy gave me this a few years back and really got me thinking. Have you guys told a lie in your life? So what does the world call people that lie?
A liar?
Liar, right? We've all lied, right? I don't think anybody in this whole park has not lied before. We've all lied, right? You ever stolen anything in your life, taken something without permission? So what does the world call people that steal?
A thief?
A thief, yeah. So there's lying, there's a thief. Have you ever hated someone or called them a fool? Okay. And Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount in the Bible that that's murder in your heart to do that. We may have disagreements with people, don't agree with them, but to hate them for that, we're not supposed to be doing that. We're all God's creation. So what you just told me that you are a lying thief and a murderer at heart. So we believe in a judgment day, that God, after this life ends, going to be a judgment day. We're going to come before God. Based on the sins he said you just committed, do you think you're going to go to heaven or hell?
Well, as long as I ask forgiveness and I go to my confession of my religion, I confess and I bear my sins, and I do as I'm told, and I pray for forgiveness. As I was baptized, I will be forgiven as long as I confess my sins and I continue to follow my personal religion and conduct myself in a manner that is going to get me into heaven.
Yeah. Well, you gotta ask for forgiveness of those sins. You gotta believe in Jesus Christ in order to do that. So, you said you haven't gone there yet.
When there was a judgment like that, to focus on all of your sins, wouldn't there be one of focusing on, who you are as a person? Like how you talk about the judgment. I don't understand.
The judgment?
Being a lying.
There'll be a judgment. Exactly. A judgment will look at what you did in this life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have just a hard time understanding that because how you just said, being a good person. I've loved unconditionally. I've helped others. I've looked out for others.
But you still sin, okay?
Right.
And God's a holy God. Okay, He's holy, and to come before Him, He wants those sins forgiven. He wants you to believe in Him, that He is the Creator of all this, and that's in His order in His book, in the Holy Bible. This is the things you need to do in order to get to heaven. We don't write our own book. He wrote that book. He created the rules for this life. And so it's just something for you to think about. I'm not sitting here trying to judge you. That's not what I'm trying to do.
I don't think that
and I'm just trying to get you to think. And if you haven't read the Bible, maybe to give it a good read. And but you don't want to put it off. Like I said, you don't know when your last moment's going to be. We lost an 18-year-old son in a car accident. Just happened. Do we think he believed in Jesus Christ? We do. But do we know for sure? Because, parents tell their kids tell their parents anything, to get them off their back. So we pray he trusted and believed in that, and we'll see him in heaven someday. But life is fragile. You don't want to put that one off. I would I pray that you, in 2011, you make it a real resolution to really get into that Bible and give it a good read. Maybe 20 minutes a day. Is 20 minutes a day a lot to, think about your eternity? Or put some consideration
we've talked
into
about
it.
this several times. And I wouldn't call myself a devout Catholic, but I was brought up a Catholic, so I wouldn't say default, that's the wrong way to say it, and she's brought up a Christian of Catholic origin.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we want to get out there and go to several different churches, different religions, and see what everyone else believes, because there's so many different forms of Christianity itself. How does one person know that a Baptist Christian is better than a Methodist?
Well, I don't get caught up in that. I just don't. I believe in the Bible, all that religion stuff, and I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe in the Holy Bible, and I don't want to get into other books outside of that.
I know, and that's exactly what we're saying. No one knows how they follow this part of it to a T, where these people deviated because of one aspect, and now they've created a separate religion that is of the same descent. Yeah. So we want to see what everyone else is believing in, and we want to go from there, because we both agree that there is a God, there's a Jesus, and we're going to be, well, I don't know if she believes in the judgment, but I believe there's going to be a judgment. And
otherwise, people like Adolf Hitler, exactly. I don't know if in his last breath he decided to accept Jesus Christ. I don't know that, but let's say he didn't, and he went and killed all those Jews and did all that, and you think he should be allowed in heaven?
Well, I'm not allowed to make that decision.
They're not allowed to make it heaven. Let's just say he didn't. Would you expect him to be up there in heaven with all he did in his life, but he didn't get his sins forgiven?
Well, I'm sure if he's up there, he's got to bear.
There's got to be some order to this life.
Oh, there is.
It has to be.
And I think whoever makes that judgment call is going to judge him, but that person that's committed all those wrongs still has to bear the knowledge that they've done that, and then that person that conducts the judgment is also going to make that person more aware of the life that they've lived, and now they have to bear that upon themselves for eternity. So even if they are in heaven, they have to live with themselves up there, knowing that they've massacred people, they've killed a person, they've committed a deadly sin. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying they should be allowed up there, but if they are, I'm sure that they are aware of what they've done, and now they have to live with that for eternity.
Yeah, it's kind of like our own court system here, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say that you went out and you murdered someone, went in the courtroom and came before a judge. You think that judge is going to just let you off? You had proof you were caught red-handed killing this person. You think that judge is going to just let you off?
No.
No, there's going to be punishment. There's going to be a sentence put on you. What we believe is that Jesus Christ came into that courtroom, paid your bill, and got you out of that situation. If you trust and believe in that He's doing that for you. Okay, he's the person that's going to pay that bill for you. But you got because we're all sinners. We all done something wrong. He's the only one that can get us out. He's our get out of jail free card. So we got to consider that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, any questions for me?
What made you stop and ask us?
Huh?
What made you stop and ask us?
What made you stop and ask us? Well, I don't know. We were just kind of here. I believe in that too. I believe God knows what we're going to do before it happens.
Yeah.
Okay? I believe that He's, God already, and He's capable of doing it. I was here today. I ran into you. I think I ran into you for a reason. Well, do I know how all that works for sure? No. But maybe someday I'll be told some of that. But right now, that's the way I believe, and that's backed up in the Bible as well. But anyway, I thank you for your time, and happy 2011.
Happy New Year as well.